Hello and welcome to Connecting Hope. We're glad that you're joining us here on this Friday night. I'm Will Hampton along with Monica Greer, and she's with the Hamilton County Council on Alcohol and Other Drugs. And we're right around the holiday season. We're zooming towards when everybody's going to try to get together if they're allowed to.
Yeah.
You live in California, you're not allowed to be together,
Yeah.
right? I won't go there. But anyway, what we're talking about really is the need. There's a lot of people in need this time of year.
Yes.
The good thing about Hamilton County, folks like the trustee's office in Noblesville and Nancy Chance with Good Samaritan Network, they do such great work just
Yes.
getting those pantries full, right?
Yes, yes. Big need. Our community is, we have a lot of community members that want to help. So those are great organizations to help get the word out. They know of a lot of different organizations that they can partner with. So good to have them.
Unfortunately, sometimes substance abuse and the need this time of year, they go hand in hand,
Yeah.
unfortunately, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's just sometimes the pressure and the anxiety of just the season and wanting to do things for your family, just the stress of it all. Sometimes employment's down. So, yeah, unfortunately.
Recently, I got a chance to stop in at the Noblesville trustee's office with Tom Kinley, and Nancy Chance joined us there as we took a look at the pantry and talked to both of them about the need, especially this time of year.
There's certainly a bigger need than I think a lot of people realize because their first thought in Hamilton County, where everybody's got a good job and everybody's doing well, and that does hold true for the majority of the people in Hamilton County, but it's the bottom 5% that is here. They're either disabled, cancer or such, and they're just in a broken household. You know, they need some temporary assistance. With COVID here, it's certainly increased and made that more pronounced. We've gone through about $150,000 this year in township assistance for rentals alone.
Good Samaritan alone has hauled 2,976,000 pounds of food. That's just food. That's not counting all the other in-kind donations that we haul, just since March 17th. Losing Festival of Trees for us for 2020 is big. We are going to have 6 trees and some wreaths at the Judicial Building that we'll be auctioning off live, and that'll be starting soon in November. And we'll also have some online auction baskets, you know, trying to recoup some. But that event alone was a big chunk of money for us for administrative fees and things that just don't get covered in grants. So it's really hard for us this year. We have a lot of mental health issues. We have drug and alcohol, addicted clients that have needs with food pantries and things, and there's families behind each one of these people. So we have to keep going, we have to keep helping and giving that extended light of hope so that these people will have that for their families.
It's certainly changed my perspective in life since I've been here. I am far more aware and more sympathetic to people who are in need. You know, there's always this stereotype of the welfare bum. You know, the guy that doesn't try, he didn't do anything, he doesn't deserve this. And there is some of that out there, but there are a lot of legitimate needs for people that they're legitimate. They cannot survive without assistance.
I just love Nancy Chance. I mean, and she had to cancel her Festival of Trees this year, and as she says, that's going to be a big hit, but they need help, don't they?
Yes, yes. They help so many people. So, yeah, they could definitely use some help. And it's just amazing how much they do, how much the trustees does. Hopefully our viewers learn something more than what they knew about them, because it's just amazing work.
Hard work all the time.
Yeah.
And we're up to our success story for this week,
Yes.
and here's a look at this week's success story.
I'm not that different than a lot of other people. My big problem was alcohol, and that's a major concern for a lot of people. It started mostly in college. I think I thought there was a time and a place for everything, and it's called college. And unfortunately, after college stopped, my drinking didn't. It kind of expanded and grew. And as the years progressed, it grew more and more. And it came to be the point where it was affecting my jobs, it was affecting my relationships. I lost jobs, I lost friends. It ended up at one point that I made the unfortunate decision to drink and drive, and not only was my life affected by an accident that I caused, but it also affected a lot of other people's lives permanently. And it led me to having to do some jail time, which was a very unpleasant and unexpected occurrence for me. I'd never been in trouble before, and then I ended up in some serious trouble. And it kind of affected my life for a very long time. And at that point, my drinking had progressed to the point where I was mostly chemically dependent, where if I didn't have it every day, it was bad news for me.
Amazing stories each and every week. And what I always have learned, what I have learned, is that recovery never stops. They're always in it, aren't they?
Yeah, they have to be. Yeah, it's day to day, as we've learned. But all of the supports and the help that they've received and continued support and wanting to help others, I think that's the biggest part of it.
Yeah, it sure is. And we're going to hear part 2 of that story in just a bit. But when we come back, we're going to talk with Sean Odom from Praxis at Landmark. Stay with us. Connecting Hope continues after this.
Hi, my name is Diana Huddleston. I'm with Aspire, Indiana. I'm the director of Hamilton County Services for our comprehensive outpatient services. We are a whole health provider providing behavioral health and primary care. We are your designated community mental health center for Hamilton County and really proud to serve you. If you or a family member, a friend or neighbor need our services, you can find us on our social media and our websites at aspireindiana.org. We're happy to talk with you, do an initial assessment, see what's going on and how we can help.
And welcome back to Connecting Hope. I'm Will Hampton along with Monica Greer, and we're joined by another special guest. Each and every week we try to zoom in on different places that are helping people, not just in Hamilton County, but really all around Central Indiana. We have Sean Odom from Praxis by Landmark with us. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, it's a new experience for you to go on TV and talk about this.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Overall, how are things going at Praxis by Landmark?
So really well. I think a lot of the clientele that we have are more of like I was, for instance, kind of at the bottom of my barrel and just willing to do anything, willing to work for it and put in that work to be able to start my new foundation in recovery.
Yeah. This is in Carmel.
Yes.
But really, Praxis is it a national or regional brand?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the brand itself and what kind of their goals are.
Right. So there's multiple states that have this. So from my understanding, the CEO himself, and I don't want to put too much out there, but the CEO wanted a way to help people who are in recovery, and his father owns Landmark Senior Living. And so the son just decided he wanted to do something different to be able to help people. And so he started to create these facilities to better assist people with this, I guess, epidemic during the pandemic. So you say, but more often than not, there's always a need for somebody to get treatment for mental illness and addiction and alcoholism, whether it be now or in the past or in the future. There's always a need for somebody to get in and get that groundwork laid to get some help.
So if somebody that's watching has a family member that is in need of services, or they themselves are in need of services, can you kind of talk about the process of what they would go through if they came to your facility?
Right, so the first thing that they would do, and they can look up the phone number on Google and call admissions. Admissions will then do a phone assessment with them and kind of direct them to either our facility or the founding facility of Landmark. And there's insurance differences in both of those. And then they will come into our facility and they'll go through an intake process, and they're met with the intake clinician and an intake nurse, where we'll kind of get to know them a little bit better, and we'll start that process. And some people come in to a longer term treatment that have already went through a 5 to 10 day detox. Some people will just come in straight from off the streets, and it's our job to do intake and to assist them with whatever they need and get them kind of acclimated to what they're walking into, with 48 patients total is what our facility holds. And just kind of trying to use our own experience, strength, and hope to kind of get them acclimated and let them know, hey, this is very similar to a place that I had to have my start at. So that's kind of what we do. Once they get back to the unit, we take them to the room and kind of get them acclimated and get them around some of the people that aren't in group at the particular time, to kind of get a feel for some people. And each other will share their stories to try and get those like-minded individuals to engage with them a little bit. And so it's an amazing thing to see.
So you offer services to men and women?
We do.
Okay.
Yeah, we're a co-ed facility.
Okay. And what would be the average length of stay? Do you do detox as well as treatment?
Yeah, so it's kind of detox and treatment at our facility. It is a 21-day facility.
Okay.
We've had quite a few people ask for extensions. You know, a lot of people love it, and we love them. You know, I understand what it was like when I walked into treatment, not feeling worthy, not feeling like anybody wanted anything to do with me. And so to kind of feel that love from somebody who's been there is definitely the changing.
Yeah.
What's kind of one of the barriers that has to be broken down for someone to walk in that door? What do they have to do?
So as far as in life, you know, sometimes family members will, you know, tell them that they need help, or sometimes they'll go through an intervention, or sometimes it's just somebody who doesn't know where they need to turn to. And so they'll reach out and they'll kind of surf the internet and do some Google searches, and our facility has a pretty good star rating on Google.
Yeah.
Just because of the various kind of services that we offer there. It's not all geared towards 12-step. We do have some 12-step. We do have smart recovery. We do have meditation and mindfulness and things of that nature, individual therapy, group therapy. So it's just amazing to have all those services there.
Is that kind of if you had to separate you from other facilities like yours, what is it that you like about Praxis by Landmark that is working?
So one thing that they do is they have what they call treatment team, 3 different days out of the week. And what it is basically our clinical director, the nurse practitioner, and some other individual therapists and group therapists will kind of all get together, and the executive director's in there too, to kind of learn a little bit more about each person. That way they can individualize their sobriety with just that person.
Nice.
Well, thank you for what you're doing. I mean, there's a lot of people in need.
Yeah.
A lot of people sort of afraid to take that first step, and that's kind of what this can be, right?
Yeah. This is it. This is kind of your foundation.
Yeah.
Right. And so, what sobriety is learning a new way to live, right, and living that. And there is going to be some fear involved, right? There is going to be people who have some faith, and some people's faith will waver a little bit, but you know, everybody has to go through it. It's about doing something new to start something new. Yeah. And, you know, it can be terrifying for some people, but, you know, all you got to do is put your best foot forward, find somebody that you can trust, and just kind of go along with whatever treatment facility you walk into, man. But it is terrifying at first.
Yeah, I bet.
But it does get easier when you find somebody that's been there.
Well, Sean, thank you.
Thank you.
Praxis by Landmark. People can find you guys on the web. I appreciate it.
Yes.
We're going to take a break. Back with more Connecting Hope after this.
Hi, my name is Amber Harvey. I'm with Transformations Center for Healing. We're located here in Noblesville. We are a residential recovery ministry for women who are suffering from substance use disorder. We are a 3-phase program with our first phase lasting 60 days. We focus on physical, spiritual, and emotional wellness. You can reach us at our website, transformationscfh.org, or call us at 317-219-6673.
So my name is Jim Ginder, and I'm with Hamilton County Health Department. I'm the health education specialist at our office. What I'm going to do today is to show you how to deal with somebody who possibly overdosed on an opiate. So what we're going to do before we do anything is we need to make sure that the scene is safe, because I do not want to become that victim. So we have our mannequin here, so he's unresponsive. So first of all, I'm going to make sure the scene is safe. Then I'm going to come up and shake and shout, "Hey, are you okay? You're okay." He's unresponsive. I'm going to pull out my cell phone and call 911, or have somebody with me call 911. Then I'm going to put my head down by his mouth and nose, then also on his chest. And what you're doing is you are listening and you're feeling. So you don't hear anything and you don't feel the rise and fall of the chest. So you're going to take your Narcan or naloxone. I'm going to open it up. What you're going to do is you're going to take it out of the package, stick it in one of his nostrils, put it in as far as you can, push the button until the button is all the way flat with the device. Then what you're going to do is you need to flip them over. And the reason why you need to flip them over, there's a pretty good chance that they're going to start to vomit after that Narcan starts to work. It takes about 2 minutes for Narcan to work. Roll him back over if you don't see him breathing again, and give a second dose as well. Just remember, when you give Narcan, a lot of times the person will vomit. So that's the reason why I flipped him over. And also that the person can be a little combative when you wake them up. But hopefully the police will be there by the time you need to give that second dose of Narcan, or by the time that the individual starts to wake up as well too. Thank you very much for watching how to take care of someone who has possibly overdosed on an opiate. If you would like more information, you can visit our page at Hamilton County Health Department, which is www.hamiltoncounty.in.gov. Then just hit Health Department, and you can send us an email, or if you're interested in obtaining some Narcan, we can also provide you some Narcan as well too, free of charge.
Jim Ginder just continues to do the great work. He's Superman, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Yeah, we need to get him a cape. He would love
I think
it.
he has one somewhere.
Somewhere, probably.
Now we'll continue with our success story. Here's part 2 of this week's success story.
I ran out of excuses to not change, and I ran out of people who are willing to put up with my continued behavior. Kind of to get everybody off my back, I actually went to treatment. And my initial thought was, I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna sober up and spin dry, and then I'll go back and live my life the way I want to. But while I was there, I figured out that living my life the way I wanted to was not working out real well for me. So I did a detox, I did a 45-day inpatient treatment, and I learned a lot of stuff. And I dealt with a lot of stuff from my past that I hadn't dealt with before. And that has been 4 years ago. It was 4 years in September when I went into treatment. And since that time, I have been drug and alcohol free. What really worked for me was seeing other people in recovery, being sober and being happy, leading lives that they found fulfilling and rewarding, and just generally being happy with themselves. And I saw that and I thought, if they can do that, why can't I? So I need to do what they're doing. I think an important thing for me, especially at the beginning, was realizing that I wasn't alone. Not only in having an addiction issue, but also in trying to find my way out of it. and that knowing that there are people out there that want to help me get out of a situation like that. And there are also people out there who are doing the same thing, trying to become sober, trying to stay in sobriety, trying to stay in recovery. I myself, after I'd been sober a year, went to work at the treatment center that I had been in. And so I have been in treatment and recovery pretty much since I got sober. So this has been kind of a process for me to go from actually working with people actually going through what I went through to now being able to advocate for them on a county, state, city level, even sometimes national. So the Indiana Addictions Issues Coalition is actually part of Mental Health America of Indiana, but what they are is a group that advocates for people in recovery across the state of Indiana to affect policy, to affect local and county governments, to implement programs to help people in recovery. Not only help people in recovery, but help people in addiction that need recovery.
We love to hear the success part of the success story, don't we?
Yes, yeah, that's good ending.
Yeah, it always is, and faith is always such a big part of it.
Yes, definitely.
Better believe it. Well, we're going to take a break. We'll close out this week's edition of Connecting Hope after this. And welcome back to Connecting Hope. I'm Will Hampton along with Monica Greer, and I love the story of Sean Odom from earlier. And later, coming up here in a couple of weeks, he's going to kind of tell his success story as to where he was and where he is now. He's doing great work, and there are so many great facilities around here, aren't there?
Yeah, definitely. And Sean helped me understand more about Praxis. I didn't know a whole lot about him, so we just have awesome resources here and surrounding areas as well. So,
holiday season for you guys, is it tougher when you're thinking about where people are and where they can find the help?
It usually is, yeah, the stress and everything. I think the help is still there, but maybe more people realize they need the help around this time. So. Luckily, the help is always around.
It's always right there.
Yeah.
Thanks to you. Monica, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching Connecting Hope. We'll see you next week.